Welcome to the Empire State Trail edition of Beyond the Driveway. For our annual ride, we decided to take on a portion of the Empire State Trail. The trail system consists of 3 segments totaling 760 miles. The hub of the trail system is in Albany, New York. From Albany to Buffalo, New York is a distance of 360 miles. From Albany to the Canadian border is 199 miles. And from Albany to Battery Park in Lower Manhattan is 201 miles. We chose the Albany to Manhattan route. Our 3-day ride would cover 225 miles. That includes additional off-route distances to our nightly lodgings and our extended endpoint in Brooklyn, New York, which tacked on another 8 miles past the official route ending in Battery Park. With the exception of reaching the Canadian border, you can get pretty much anywhere along the various routes via Amtrak. We did exactly that to start the ride in Albany. Jack and I took the train from New York City. Ben and Kirk took it from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Josh hopped on in Philadelphia, and Baishi got the train in Baltimore. Not having to shuttle the cars made the ride so much more enjoyable. To get to the Monahan train station, Jack and I rode our bikes from Brooklyn. Now you might think riding the streets of New York City wouldn't be any fun at all, but if you're a confident rider, it's a great place to ride. The streets have generous bike lanes. You can ride through some beautiful parks. And our ride had the added highlight of crossing the Brooklyn Bridge. Safely at the station, we boarded our train for Albany. Now, before we get too deep into the ride, take a second to hit that subscribe button. This video and the description below is all you need to plan your ride on the Empire State Trail. I'll be posting a lot more videos in the weeks and months ahead. You won't want to miss any of them. Be sure to hit that notification bell too. Once in Albany, we had a good dinner at the City Beer Hall. There, we caught up on life's happenings since we were all last together. Then, we settled in for the night at Fairfield Inn. Up bright and early, ready to ride. Okay, here we are at the start of our 3rd annual boys bike riding trip. Yeah, and we have Jack, Kirk, Ben, Josh, Baishi, I'm Jim. We're in Albany, New York, and we're on our way down to Battery Park in Lower Manhattan. Today's ride will cover 74 miles from Albany, New York to Kingston, New York. Right off the bat, we came across this ramp to nowhere. This ramp was supposed to connect us to the bike lane on that bridge up ahead. We reversed course and found the detour that would take us to the bridge over the Hudson River. While we watched the miles of day 1 pass, I want to talk about some apprehension we had about this ride before we started. First is the daily mileage. Our rides over the last couple of years have averaged around 45 miles per day. This year, when all is said and done, we will have averaged 75 miles each day. While that daily mileage is well within the capability of each of us, I was worried about the impact it would have on our level of enjoyment. We don't usually push the pace. And no matter what Jack says, these rides are not a race. And if they were, we all know Ben would leave us in the dust. We stop to enjoy things, sights that we encounter, lunches, and generally talk and catch up on the past while we spin the pedals down the trail. We knew these would be long days into Seattle, and stoppage time would need to be reduced. The daily mileage was dictated by the availability of lodging. Not all towns along the route had lodging that could affordably accommodate a group of 6 riders, so we had to stretch the mileage out each day to make that work. Trail miles versus road miles. Our past rides were on rail-to-trail routes, no roads. I estimate that roughly 50% of this part of the Empire State Trail was on roads. Granted, a lot of these were rural roads, but not all of them. Some sections were downright risky to be riding bikes on. We're all competent riders and we had no problems, but if you're planning to ride this trail, keep that in mind. That all said, we rode through some beautiful areas. We had a great time, and I'm really happy to have done this ride. Now let's talk about lunch. Nolita's Cafe in Hudson is a little off route, but it's a great spot to refuel for the second half of the day. They have an extensive menu, and everything was delicious. Day 1 so far, what are you thinking?
Amazingly smooth trail. Even on the gravel, it's so evenly paved. The wildflowers, man. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Really good, dude.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Jack, over to you, man.
I'm doing great. I came into town first, as usual. I plan on doing that the rest of the ride. These guys are all pretty slow.
We're putting all the Jenga blocks in this thing. Baishi, how's life treating you down the trail today?
It's good. It's good.
How do you like it compared to like our last couple rides?
It's nice. I like the farmland and the little towns, and this is a cool town. Where are we? Hudson?
Hudson. Yeah,
Hudson.
Hudson.
Yeah, I like this town.
All right, cool. Kirk, what are you thinking?
Wow, it's beautiful scenery all along the way. Lots of friendly people, and well, took one business call, so got some multitasking done. It's been a great ride.
I am in love with Hudson right now, and I want to see if I can find my grandfather's old butcher shop. We're gonna call my aunt right now and see.
All right,
Yeah.
more to come.
More to come later. I gotta see what that address is.
And let's see, my opinion on all this here is it's an excellent ride, and I definitely do love the paved trail. The hills, I don't know about that, but we'll keep taking them. Later. Back on the road. But first, on our way out of town, we visited the location of Ben's great-grandfather's butcher shop. It brought up great memories of his family's history. With 32 miles still to go and a lot of rolling hills ahead of us, we started picking up the pace. Baishi refueled on the run. Hey, no littering. The scenery continued to impress. Our last stretch of road before the end of the day left a lot to be desired, but it got us to our home for the night at the Courtyard Marriott in Kingston. We had a great dinner and drinks at Savona's Trattoria in Kingston. I definitely regained all the calories I burned off earlier in the day. Day 2 would take us 73 miles from Kingston to Brewster, New York. Let's check in and see what everyone is riding this year.
Josh Eves. This is my estate all-road.
Hi, I'm Kirk, and this is my Kona bicycle from Hush Money Bikes.
Hi, I'm Ben, and this is my Otso from Hush Money Bikes.
Hi, I'm Baishi Hicks. This is my Bianchi 928. Hi, I'm Jack. This is my Specialized Comp E5.
I'm Jim, and this is my Jamis Renegade. Day 2 started out much like day 1 ended, on roads. But before long, we were back on trails again. Baishi took advantage of a trailside repair station. Today is the first we were actually riding along the Hudson River. It's just over the edge on the left side of the trail. Winding through the Old Town section of Kingston, Baishi spotted an old tugboat. Being a tugboat captain himself, he's always on the lookout for this type of thing. This is more like what we're used to, quiet wooded trails. We came across some old cement mining caves and remnants of the furnaces. The trail is getting narrower. I like it, but I don't think it will last long. Time for a break at the Dry Fly Coffee Company. Back to the hustle. Just before our lunch break, we came to the walkway over the Hudson. Lola's Cafe in Poughkeepsie was a great lunch break. Super cool spot and some fantastic food. I know I give a good review of pretty much everywhere we eat, but it's all true. I do a ton of advanced research planning these rides, and food is a big part of that. Remember when I said these rides aren't a race? That all changes now. We're running late in the day and we still have 40 miles to go. Race on. We spent the next 40 miles running a pace line. We were on a paved trail the entire way. It was the perfect environment to make up time and still enjoy the scenery. Straight and steady. I love drafting. We made it to our home for the night, Heidi's Inn. It had super comfortable rooms, and guess what? They had a saltwater pool. What sweet relief. We had a killer Mexican dinner at Las Mananitas restaurant just next door to Heidi's. We ate outdoors and the view was beautiful. Day 3, the final push back to Lower Manhattan and then on to Brooklyn. We have 79 miles in the saddle ahead of us today. Speaking of saddles, did I mention that my butt is really tired of this torturous piece of equipment? This day's ride would keep us largely on paved surfaces and mostly off-road. Peaceful riding for sure. Along the way, we stumbled into the Freight House Cafe in Poughkeepsie, New York. What a great little find. The coffee offerings were extensive and there was plenty of pastries to refuel with. It would have been easy to miss the Freight House. We only spotted it by the makeshift trailside delivering system they had set up. The trail was starting to get more active with other riders, runners, and walkers. The city was not far off at this point, and we started seeing the roads and freeways to prove it. Our last food stop along the way was the Eldorado Diner in Elmsford, a great classic old school deli. The menu was huge, almost too much to choose from. Still ahead was a little over 30 miles to Battery Park and then another 8 miles to Brooklyn. Most of these miles would be on city streets and the Riverside Park bike path. After a closed road detour and a lot of traffic, we finally made it down to the Riverside Park bike path, thanks in no small part to Jack's New York City cycling skills. From there, we were just cruising along the Hudson River, taking in the sights. It was a beautiful summer weekend in the city, and everyone was out enjoying it. Almost there. We made it. Okay, here we are in Battery Park. Statue of Liberty's right there, but the sun's blaring on us, so we're not going to get in our photo. But after 216 miles, we made it from Albany all the way to Battery Park in Lower Manhattan. It was a good accomplishment for everyone. I thought the ride was fantastic, day 2 and 3. Day 1 was a little sketchy, but why don't you guys tell me what you think?
I just loved every aspect of it, and I just can't believe we did it, and I can't wait till next year because it's going to be even better.
It's a great ride. There's every aspect of riding, from straight and level fast to crowded promenade. So it's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Again, I was proven to be the best rider of the group. Came in number 1 every day, got to Battery Park first. Great trip overall, and I've been teaching these guys a lot of things.
I learned a lot from Jack, yes. Definitely.
First day I got a flat. It was decent. Second day I got another flat, and then I got stung by a bee. Other than that, it was absolutely great. The trail part was just awesome, and can't wait to do it again.
So in 2023, it was Calamity Ben. 2024 is Calamity Josh.
It's the new curse.
Well, I look forward to the flat tire and bee sting experience next time. This time was awesome, but so many hills on this trail. But it was a good challenge.
Good. All right, everybody, congratulations, and let's start planning next year. Now, back on the bike for the ride to Brooklyn. Back over the Brooklyn Bridge, along the streets of Park Slope, through Prospect Park, and the ride was over. One thing we did differently this year is that we planned ahead to have a celebratory dinner after the ride was over. Jack arranged for a great dinner at the Costello Plan in his home neighborhood in Brooklyn. There we all laughed and recounted the events of the ride. It was a great evening, and we already started talking about next year's ride. Let's see where that will be. Thanks for watching this Empire State Trail edition of Beyond the Driveway. If you're not already a subscriber to this channel, now's the time to hit that subscribe button. If you are, thanks for your continued support. Until next time, we'll see you on the road or the bike trail.